morning, Twin Blades, acolytes, friends, and passers-by. Welcome to the stream. My name is Ruin, and we are diving back into Pathfinder this morning. I just rolled out of bed about half an hour ago, so pardon the voice, as it is probably still a little deeper with the wake up. Haven't fully not spry and chipper quite yet. I'm hoping the game will facilitate a change in that direction, but honestly, probably going to be a nap day. My genius level intellect decided not to go to bed until basically 3 yesterday. So yeah, especially with Pathfinder on the horizon for tonight, might need the pick me up nap, as it were, later on today in the afternoon. But as of right now, we are here. We are ready to dive back in to the world of Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. We have now finally escaped the cave that we fell into after the initial events of Canabras that we were shown when we start the game. We're brought in on a stretcher, honestly. Finally escaped through the maze. Have some demonic activity going on in the cave as well as here above ground with the fighting that was occurring when we finally did escape the cave. And now we have, honestly, a bunch of missions, which let's go ahead and take a look at those, because we got quite a few at the end of our last session. And I do not remember all of them. Let's turn the angels down, or angelic choir down slightly there. Okay, here we are. Let's look at our character sheet, actually. We're almost level 3. My gosh, we could spit and hit level 3 at this point. We got our AC up to 22. We have changed our lineup here for whatever reason on the bottom of the screen. Not figured out how to do that. That's not a touch, though. And I only have a few, close range. Close and touch are different, so I could do fatigue. Really, fatigue the only damaging touch range spell I have to be able to use with my ability. There. Okay. So this is Silaz companion quest. Fair enough. Have to find her friend Jana. We're not really given any direction for her. This is our overall mission, I would assume. Well, not necessarily, I guess. Has no time marking on it. Could be a way to get across the rift that divides the city. Convenient place to cross in the market square. Okay. The last chapter to complete the quest. I need to just talk to Horgus for this. Out to the Tower of Estrid. Find your actions to scouting and gathering information for now. Okay. Walk to Staunton to find the storyteller. Alive who can hold a weapon. Potential allies may be found in the most unlikely of places. Gather allies for the attack. Okay, so a whole lot of exploration, it would seem. Bats are running everywhere today. You have a name. I'll talk to you. Stout old man with a fuzzy gray beard mumbles a prayer. He looks tired as everyone else does in the tavern, but determination is stamped upon his haggard face. What can I do for you? Oh, you sell scrolls, huh? Oh yeah, I need to freaking sell crap. Effortless armor. I need that one. Haze of Dreams. Fill the enemy's head with waking dreams as a reminder. While in the dream state, target moves at half its normal speed, multiple Haze of Dreams do not stay. Meh. Less I'll keep. Bane, I believe I will keep. There's endurance, yes. Heroism, yes. Restoration, yes. Remove sickness. Protection from good. I don't know that I will ever need that. Wisdom. I'm probably going to get rid of just the majority of this stuff. Feeling we're gonna grab quite a bit of things along the way, so. Protection from wall. Maybe. Not that I need any of this stuff. We're just gonna throw it all in here. Hangover test. Nice. Good old giant spider legs. That's a cooking? Might keep the cooking stuff, I guess. Might keep the bow. And I'm still at a medium. All these scroll of inflict wounds. I mean, it's only 3 pounds, even then. All the things. Potions actually count. What do you know? 15 pounds by themselves. Cause fear. What do you have? Shield. Magic missile. Mirror image. Scroll of haste. Also dope. Nice. Holy crap, dude. How much stuff do you have? Nice, nice. You know, just all the stuff. Okay. We have 774 gold to begin with. Icy Protector is not bad, but I don't know how long Camellia's gonna be with us. She has a ridiculously high AC already, so so much in the HP department. But her and I are in the same boat on that regard. I can't pay for all of those, can I? I already have one of those, and I already have one of those. You're giving me... Wait, how does that math work? Oh, what, you've thrown them at the bottom of the barrel? So I should be able to buy these without any issue, because you're already giving me 4,000 gold. I don't have enough to give that back to you. Okay, I don't know. Apparently it glitched out there. So this would give me a surplus of 500. Any touch range. I don't see the hastes are nice. Few of those. Roll a fireball. Nice. 2d6 fire damage. D6 per caster level. Call down a 6-foot wide, 30-foot long vertical bolt of lightning that does 3d6 points of electricity damage. Gonna be the majority of our money. Maybe not. Okay, let's deal that. Let's close that. I don't really need that anymore. I believe Lon is our lowest now. So yeah, he's gonna get these. Paste that. Going to add a couple of those. A couple of those. Beer, sure. Divine favor. You have nothing. Skin. Bear's endurance. Blur. Honestly, for a ranged, not bad. Food items. I just have one diamond dust. Okay. Enough putzing around, we're able to actually... Oh, heck yeah.
What's going on here?
Copy it to your spell book, my dude. Haste is definitely something that I would like you to have. Is there an indicator on that? For me to know what I can add and what I can't? Oh, that was fine. Yeah. Okay. That's Beth. That's Salah. Halo. Who are you? A tall, athletic man greets you. His hair is prematurely gray and shorn close to the head in military style. He is lean and well-groomed, and a monocle twinkles coldly in his eye. The bold set of his jaw and his large but agile frame attest that here is a man who is always ready to be on the move. Greetings, I am Heloy, Venture Captain of the Pathfinder Society. I'm the superior officer among Pathfinders in this region of Mendav. However, the Society is running almost no operations here right now. Besides me, there are almost no Pathfinders here. Actually, I'm only stuck here because of an old feud with a demon worshipper known as the Spinner of Nightmares. I've had to work alone without the support of the Society, but I've made a lot of acquaintances among the local mercenaries and daring fighters. If you need any good fighters for an honest cause, talk to me. It's a globe-spanning organization based in Absalom. The membership consists primarily of Pathfinders, adventurers who travel throughout Galarian, usually inconspicuously, and explore, delve, and otherwise experience the lesser-seen parts of the world. They send journals documenting their travels back to their adventure captains, who also assign them new missions and suggest new places to explore. The most exciting and illuminating of these journals are compiled in the Pathfinder Chronicles, an ongoing series of books that collect the history and mystery of Galarian for its membership and to the general public. Need good training. I mean, I don't know what this actually does in the realm of giving me fighters or training. Tell me about your confrontation with the Spinner of Nightmares. God, how long is this going to be? It all began with the task of the Pathfinder Society. I arrived in Narosian, which is the capital of the Crusader state of Mendav. Narosian? Yes, it's like an I on the Y. Is designed first and foremost as a defensive fortification to hold back the endless demonic hordes of the Whirlwind. Narosian is... maybe it's Narosian? Is a holy city of Iomade. Many of its notable residents are devout worshippers of Iomade, including Queen Galfrey, the ruler of Mendev. The cruciform cathedral to Iomade is central to both Nerosian's physical structure and the defense of the city. The cathedral also draws faithful pilgrims from afar to worship at this renowned holy site. Arrived in Nerosian with my team to investigate the sudden death of a famous crusader, Baron Falren. We soon focused in on a small hospital for the wealthy where Falren was being treated shortly before his death. It turned out that a gang of Baphomet cultists, calling themselves the Labyrinth of the Mind, had gotten a foothold at the hospital. They were obsessed with twisting the minds of their victims and targeted fragile people too weak to resist. The hospital was filled with perfect victims, isolated for weeks from the outside world, completely helpless, and when they returned, they were different, almost normal. But the moment they heard a certain phrase, something dark awoke in their mind, and they transformed into servants of Baphomet, ready to lie, betray, and even kill. The Labyrinth of the Mind was preparing to infiltrate all the elite circles in Mendev, but Baron Falren stopped them. He was too loyal to his oath and too resistant to their spells. He fought for his freedom until the strain broke his heart. We opened and cleaned the city of Baphomet's pit of vipers. Their den was a cradle of sin and filth. They cast spells on each other, and their loathsome fantasies stepped real from their minds into the world. They dreamt of horrible and forbidden things, and they fought like mad. We burned the place to the ground and slaughtered everyone we could. But the leaders of the cult were able to flee, and they were set upon revenge. They abducted my daughter, Lori, who served under my command in the Pathfinder Society. They left me a note full of tart insults, mockery, and sneers. From that note, I learned the name of my enemy, the Spinner of Nightmares. A few months later, I confirmed that she was the leader of the Labyrinth of Mind. My hunt had begun. I would get Lori back at any costs. Hilor grits his teeth with bulldog determination. Nice. I mean, we're needing people, so can rely on my lads, but you'll have to pay them. Oh god. Well, I don't have that kind of money. My companions and I need good training. I will get a mentor from Absalom for the first few times. He'll train your fighters free of charge. Okay. Oh, I see. So you can like reset, allocate. I don't really want to do that. I'm fine with how they are. And I don't know the game enough to specifically switch anybody into anything. An imposing young Oread is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders who are hanging on her every word. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Gistka legionnaires from the last war and the crusaders. The perfection of form and spirit they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine. Not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but a united whole. Now, tell me again why I'm supposed to be impressed by your reckless assaults, where everyone is fighting for their ego and for the right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice. Some of the crusaders grumble unhappily, but it is clear that they are captivated by the woman's words. The only exception is a scraggly and disheveled halfling monk whose puffy black eyes give him away as a brawler and a troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage, but one of his friends wistfully jabs him in the back with an elbow, making the poor fellow pause to catch his breath. I'll just quietly listen to the discussion. One of the Crusaders here. One of the Crusaders angrily curls his fists tightly and retorts in a burst of passion. If those gists of yours, or whatever, had come for us, we'd have their guts for garters. You think we've never fought a mighty adversary before? The soldier's stern facade cannot fully conceal his relish. He clearly plans to enjoy this confrontation. The Crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mixture of irritation and piqued interest. The woman chuckles before cutting off her interlocutor. There's a word I don't know that I've ever seen. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back. What is this? Lord of the Rings? And I'll have you know, these fortifications were defended by Justkin, priest craftsmen, armed with demon-bound war machines. They use the enemies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. The woman gives the people around her a triumphant look and adjusts her hair with pointed nonchalance. Her voice takes on a lecturer's tone. You should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher on the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. The woman looks at you and flashes an amused smile. The lecture is over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? Who are you? I am Indara, a warrior, magus, and scholar of classical warfare from Garund. The woman peers at you apprehensively, then sighs. I admit that I am mildly offended by the fact that my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept that this is due to Avastan's isolation from the sophisticated culture of the world at large. You've come a long way to be here. I like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Galarian, and I don't narrowly identify with any country in particular. Why did you come here? To witness a legendary war, the conversation between citizens of a plane famous for its love of violence and the Crusaders from every continent, united by the common goal of defending their home. An epic struggle of colossal proportions that hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. Nice. The monk with a black eye grins and mutters under his breath, maybe she just can't see it from here. The view will get way more epic if she stops hiding among us and takes a walk outside. The woman smirks contemptuously. She does not deem the monk's words worthy of comment. It's like you know more about warfare than any of us. Oh, am I hearing things, or did someone finally acknowledge my competence in the art of warfare? Perhaps there is a sufficiently open-minded person among the Crusaders after all. I find myself pleasantly surprised. Was this last war you mentioned? Last War of Jiska, of course. A large-scale conflict that took place 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It was a war against the Assyrian pharaoh of forgotten plagues, the war that ended the legendary Jiska Imperium, an epic struggle that became the most vibrant page in military history. Alas, all conflicts that followed it were but a pale shadow, including the one I am witnessing here. Why do you find the last war so inspiring? Imagine legions of golems imbued with extraplanar spirits marching into battle. Imagine flying cities that swoop out of the clouds like terrifying monstrous birds of prey, to drop forces on top of enemy castles. Picture gigantic mechanisms powered by captive and very angry demons and devils. Imagine standing in the warpath of walking citadels, or having to cover your ears to block out the sound of cannons loaded with shrieking elementals. Finally, imagine the ultimate weapon that defeated the Jistka, the deadly Night Plague. This affliction was an attack dog, a trained epidemic, a tamed pestilence, striking only those who its master wanted to kill. Imagine all these terrors and understand that no flight of fancy can even come close to the horror of the nightmares they made real. How do you know so much? I can say without false modesty that there is no more authoritative researcher on Galarian when it comes to the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. I've dedicated my whole life to the subject. I've personally visited old battlefields and studied the most mysterious and forbidden archives containing chronicles of ancient wars, sometimes risking my life in the process. I saw a fallen skitty? Pokemon here. Fallen Sky City of the Shuri Empire with my own eyes. I ripped out the control crystal from an Exterminator-class combat golem that guarded a Jiska laboratory with my own hands. These fingers held the glass flask that the servants of the Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues used to create the first generation of pestilence that devastated the Jiska Imperium. How do I know so much? I saw and touched everything I'm telling you about. Why don't you join the Crusaders and show them how fighting should be done? No, I'm a historian, an analyst, a theorist. Do you know what these three words have in common? They describe a mortal woman who does not participate in the conflict upon which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I will hardly be able to describe this mess as anything other than a feeble likeness to the last war of Jiska. The monk with the damaged eye grins slyly and comments, the more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find clever and petty words to justify not actually doing the fighting. Debate. Oh, I will be happy to approve the current conflict. Oh god, I don't care. Why did I choose this? Very well. Last war of Jiska was waged using a significant greater number of troops. Both sides actively relied on reinforcements from allied plays, and their strategic planning was perfected through no fewer than 7 rounds of intensive design. None of the above applies to this war of yours. Okay, I actually get to do this. Compared to the Jiska, we are but stone club-wielding kobolds. I would like to conclude my thesis with a few words of wise counsel from Dagon, an advisor to the Pharaoh of Forgotten Plagues. I doubt you will comprehend the true genius of his statement, but here it is nonetheless. A gadfly sees the ox pays no heed to the gadfly, but crimson fever takes them both. Been to the path that's shrouded in legend, but the fate of the world is being decided here and now. I'm fine with that reply. Principles of war are the same. Weapons, causes, resources may change, but the foundations... Hey, succeeded. Yay! The earnestness on the faces of those around you has taken away Indara's panache, encouraging her to backtrack and stumble over her words. Of course, I'm not trying to diminish the importance of current events. What I'm trying to say is that from the standpoint of history, particularly the history of warfare, she falls silent, fixedly staring at the unfriendly eyes of her audience. The true importance of these developments won't become obvious until later. Indara offers a pretentious dismissal. As a scholar, I cannot deny that there is a certain truth beneath your skeptical statements. History is a complex discipline rooted in fact and an evidentiary base that grows ever more meager the farther the described period is from the present moment. Of course, if I were to argue in bad faith, the way Crusaders embellish their tales of slaying a single Brimrock, okay, by adding a dozen Valors, for example, I could win this debate, but I am above such things, and therefore I am forced to admit that your skepticism is not entirely without merit. I am sure you would have been able to expound on your arguments in a larger discussion. I am perfectly fine with this response. Indara nods with obvious relief. I don't think it quite was the tone that I wanted it to be said in, but oh well. I'm glad we both understand this limitation. It is always a pleasure to face a worthy opponent, even if the debate takes place in a grimy tavern. Perhaps especially because of that. Indara unbuckles her sword belt and hands you the weapon. This is a worthy blade. It will be of use not only for the strong, but also for the wise. Okay. And this is where I bid you farewell. Stay safe. Before the end of the day, I was planning to observe how winged demons use pack tactics to drive their prey like herds of livestock. It is about time I got back to my research. The hint of a smile graces Indara's lips, and when she sees disappointment in the eyes of many crusaders around her. Stay safe.